Facing the members of the media who are here with us, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask you to give us your name and your affiliation when the mic comes to you.
Welcome back, Mark. Daryl Bird, I'm editor of the Cat's Paws. Serious question, as the father of 2 girls, growing up with 5 women in the house, how did that make you a better basketball coach?
Good question. Well, the one thing my girls did for me is actually they never listen to anything I say, most importantly. And just know this, as tough as the 96 team is with me on the group chat, when I come home after games, I hear an earful from the Pope girls. They are merciless, so they're awesome. Thank you for being here, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Kent Spencer, WHAS 11. Mark, at Utah Valley, BYU, I'm sure you had a recruiting philosophy. How does that change here, and have you spoke with any members of the current team?
Yeah, so we're talking to all the guys on the current team, all the guys that have been recruited, and just about every single player in the portal right now. And we're going to find... We're gonna find the guys that fit here, the way we play, and the guys that will come here and understand what a gift it is to play here at the University of Kentucky.
Mark, Kyle Tucker with The Athletic. What is your approach to building a staff? What is and not just the assistants next to you, like the big picture approach to building a college basketball staff today?
Yeah, so it's one of the fun things about college basketball. It's so dynamic right now. The portal, NIL, conference realignment has changed everything so quickly. So building a staff now, you're not just looking for the skill sets of on-court development and even just recruiting. You're considering like GM positions that can navigate a roster. You're considering NIL positions. Let me say something about NIL. It's more than just cash. NIL is building a future and contributing to a community, and doing that right takes a lot of effort, and I could go into hours and hours of conversation with you on that.
Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio. Are you? Nice to see you, Mark.
Stand up, take a bow. That's impressive.
I'm good. Are you, when it comes to scheduling, like preseason tournaments, home and homes, that kind of stuff, what's your thought on how you make your schedule every year?
All right, so anybody in here down with the game versus St. John's? You know, I neglected, I'm actually so embarrassed. Somehow I missed my notes. I neglected to pay homage to Coach Rick Pitino. Every coach that has coached here has done amazing things. Everybody's contributed to Big Blue Nation, but Coach Pitino, he changed me. And I'm telling you, like, he changed me to my soul. He changed my DNA as a human being. He allowed me now to be someone that feels like I can walk into any room and take on any impossible task. And I will love him forever. And so I say St. John's just because I have so much admiration for him. He's probably the best that ever did it. And I love him so much. My other question is, and I don't know, Mitch actually might get super mad at me, but since we have this small group gathered together, let's just say sometime in the future, we could find our way into this Maui tournament. Would anybody come? Maybe. We'll see.
Mark, Ben Roberts, Lexington Herald leader. Can you just kind of walk us through the process of Mitch approaching you, your emotions, and then was it really a split second? Did you have to think about it?
Yeah, it was. Well, so here's the deal. Like, I've been blessed with some of the most incredible coaching opportunities in the world. So incredible. I have loved deeply the paces I've been able to coach. And since I started coaching, every single person that I know, including my ADs and associate ADs and players, they know that, like, my heart bleeds blue Kentucky. They just know. And Mitch knew that, and so I think that's, maybe he was a little cautious calling me because he knew I was going to say yes before he even finished the question. Say, hey, Mark, would you be like, yes?
Mark Beck here, Michael Epps with Fox 56 here in Lexington. I know you know as well as anybody that winning in March is what matters, despite this being fantastic today. What is your plan to make sure that this March you guys win as a program and get farther in the tournament?
Listen, that's the job, guys. That is the job. Like, we're not ducking it. That is the assignment. We know the assignment. That's what it is, right? And frankly, if you're too cautious or too worried to take on that challenge, don't come to Kentucky because there's nothing else that's acceptable. So somewhere in me, I'm bordering on somewhere between bold and dumb, but I think we can do it, guys. Let's go do it, okay?
Mark, Dick Gabriel, Big Blue Insider. A few years ago when we were talking to you for the documentary we did on your team, you were talking about the free throws you hit in the final seconds against Syracuse. And you told me I knew if I didn't hit those free throws, I could never come back to Kentucky again. Here you are. But how much is being a part of that championship team going to help you recruiting and building a program?
Yeah, so do we have time? Can I tell this story? So guys, we're playing Syracuse in the national championship, right? And there's give or take a minute left. And really the only meaningful play that I made in my entire, I was a bad player, the only meaningful play I made in my entire career, Syracuse pushing the ball down the floor, and I kind of trip and fall into a pass and deflected, and they give me a foul. And so, that's how good I was. So it happened right down there in the Meadowlands, but on that spot on the court. And I started walking from there to the free throw line. I don't know, it's 50 seconds. Someone look it up. There's 50 seconds left. I think we were maybe up 3, maybe up 5 even. And there was only one thought. This is honestly the truth. I wasn't thinking about form or team or celebration or score. I literally was walking, and I promise this is true. The only thought that came into my mind was, if I don't make this, they are going to kill me. And who won't want that? That's why we're here, guys. That's what we do. So that's important.
Back here in the back. Mr. Tony, KY Sports TV. With all the great players that have come through this program from the state of Kentucky, and judging from the crowd reaction to Reed Shepherd's name being mentioned, but what can you say? What can you say about your approach to in-state recruiting and going to get some more guys like him?
Yeah. So yeah. So, from Richie Farmer. And all the in-state greats that came before him, all the way to Reed Shepherd, most recently last year. And I don't know if he's here right now, but to Travis Perry next year. Travis, are you here? Come on, man, stand up. What are we doing? Well, there's a good chance Travis not going to jump in the portal, guys. But before Richie and after Travis and everybody in between, it's an in-state Kentucky kid, like these young men that grow up in Kentucky, they bring a spirit to this team that cannot be fabricated, cannot be replaced, and helps us win, and we're going to keep recruiting them.
Mark, Dylan Ballard is blue. You know, you have been heralded nationally by people talking about your strategic X's and O's, but college basketball is ever-changing right now. We've talked about the NIL, the portal. Have you and Mitch talked about the possibility of some roles being added to the staff or to the administration for specifically to deal with NLI and portal, just kind of innovating like we've seen some of these other programs do?
Yeah, and it's very much at the forefront of all of our conversations, and it might not be titled that way. It might be responsibility out under former titles, but approaching it that way. But clearly, that's wildly important. I'm not smart enough to figure all that out, so we're going to get some help in here to do it.
Hey, Mark, Tristan Ferris with Kentucky Insider. You kind of think, sorry, I lost my question.
It's you know what? You're looking at me. I'm an extremely handsome guy, man. That's hard. It's distracting. It is distracting. I'm teasing.
No, I got it.
You.
But you talked about not wanting to temper expectations. Obviously, Kentucky hasn't made it to the second weekend since 2019, and this is your first year. Just kind of what are your expectations for your first season?
Well, the one thing I know about Kentucky, guys, is I would try and temper expectations, but that ain't happening. Like, you guys are not allowing that. So why try, right? We're trying to go win. Our goal is to win every single game we play. That's what we're shooting for. We're trying to go win. And listen, and when we lose a game, if that happens, we're going to pick ourselves up and we're going to reassemble and be resilient and be relentless, and we're going to go try and win the next one. That's what we do here at Kentucky. That's like the DNA. Like, you know what? If Kentuckians know one thing, they know a hard day's work and getting up the next morning and having another hard day's work. That's what we know here.
Hello, Mark. Mr. Pope, 1996.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Hey, let's give it up right here. This is my guy. Yes. I'm so happy to see you.
1996, we did an interview and you said, quote, "No way am I going to be a coach." Now that you're at the program with the greatest tradition in the history of basketball, if you're in my house and my son had talent, well, he couldn't because it's me, and he had talent, and you can speak in sound bites because we did a lot of TV, what would you tell my son and my family in a sound bite as to why they should play for you in the University of Kentucky?
I would say this. I would say there is no doubt that there are great programs all around this country. There are great programs. There's no doubt. And that's true. And it's also true that there is nowhere like the University of Kentucky. There's nowhere. There's nowhere. Listen, you guys are living proof of that. Listen, we had a little call to arms, a little call to help, and you can't even fit in all the Kentucky faithful in this building this evening, right? There is nowhere like this, guys. And listen, don't you think that you are not making a difference, because this video is going out to every recruit in America right now.
Mark, Kent Taylor from WLKY in Louisville. When you decide that medical school's not for you, how far is this day from your mind? I mean, that you could be the coach at the University of Kentucky, and I don't know if you have it in your repertoire, but are you going to throw away your shot?
Hey, you guys don't want that right now.
We do.
We'll see. Maybe we'll save that for a little Midnight Madness action. We'll see. This is what I'll tell you about medical school, guys. So first, you are welcome, because when I dropped out of medical school, the survival rate of patients went way up. And I don't know, in terms of being the head coach of Kentucky, because I love this place so much, it's almost incomprehensible, actually, to me, even this day. So I'm super grateful. I'm really grateful for that.
Mark, Aaron Gershon with the Cat's Paws. With the offense you run, you touched on it a little bit in the open there, but how similar? We've heard there's some
Hold
similarities.
on one sec. So we just said Cat's Paws. I don't know where Oscar Combs is. Is he here somewhere? Is Oscar here? He's not. Well, just please extend my love to him. I love him. I think he's a great Kentuckian man. He's a great.
But we've heard some of the similarities to it from when you were playing here. Just what wrinkles have you added over the years? The offensive scheme?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm never going to be as smart as Coach P. I don't know if I'll ever be as fortunate to have those guys on the court. Those guys are incredible. But certainly we're taking a lot from Coach P's DNA, and it's actually, we're growing into it. You know, Coach P, I think, sometimes looks at us and says, "You copycat, man. Stop taking my stuff." But hopefully, you know, if I could take anything from Coach P, it would be the every second desperate, relentless fight on the court that he inspired of us. I'll tell you a quick story. I hope this is okay. Can I tell a story? Deb sometimes like, man, you got to stop. Okay, so we're playing here. Our bench, unless I'm backwards, I can't remember which side our bench was on. And we're playing athletes in action. Somebody will verify the numbers on this because you guys are checking everything now. But I don't know if our guys remember this, but the score was like 28-4 to start the game. We're just crushing athletes in action. And coach calls a timeout because they go on a 4-0 run. So now it's 28-8, give or take. And coach is losing his mind. Like, he is killing us. And so we're sitting on the bench. I'm sitting by Walter McCarty, his coach is laying into us for this 4-0 run. You know, it's 28-8. And I'll never forget, you guys know and love Walt. Walt stands up. We walk off. The last thing coach says is, "You guys are going to pay for this tomorrow." That was the last thing he said. Walt stands up white as a ghost. His eyes tearing up. And he looks at me, and his voice is warm. He's like, "We got to fix this. We got to fix this." And so we're going to find our own way to fabricate that type of work and energy, because that's what Kentucky deserves. And if we don't do it, then we don't belong here. And that's the job, guys. That's the assignment.
Tyler Russell with Kentucky Colonel. Coach, once the dust settles and it's time to go to work and building your team, what's the very first step that you're going to take to do that?
Well, first of all, hopefully the dust never settles in Kentucky. It doesn't do that, but right now we're really focused on our current players and the recruits coming in, and it's mostly just figuring out, meeting with those guys and figuring out if they're a right fit for us right now and how that fits. So it's clearly there, and it's clearly the portal, and it's trying to find the guys that fit here. And those guys that fit here are sometimes going to be one and done burger boys for sure. And sometimes those guys are going to be guys that come here and play 4 years and grow in your hearts and minds and become Kentucky legends and everything in between. That's what Kentucky deserves.
Hey, I'm Kennedy Whitby with UK Student News, and older Kentucky fans know who you are, or at least are aware that you were the captain of the 1996 National Championship team.
Really old former Kentucky.
Well, yes. Arguably one of the best teams in college basketball, and there's a lot of younger generations here. If you can reintroduce yourself, what would you say? Who can you say Mark Pope is?
I would just say that I'm someone that loves Kentucky from the depths of my soul. I'm someone that loves this game from the depths of my soul. I'm someone that loves my family from the depths of my soul. And I'm someone that's a believer and loves God from the depths of my soul. That's who I am.
Chris Beesmore with ABC 36 News. How will you continue the greatest condition in college basketball?
We're going to work. We're going to work. That's what we do. That is our answer. We're going to work. We're going to work hard and smart and together, and we're going to go figure it out. Thank you for the question.
Mark, C.L. Brown with the Louisville Courier-Journal. You mentioned making sure the kids here know about what it means to put that jersey on. How do you approach that with a generation that kind of seems like they don't remember a whole lot from the past and necessarily intake history?
You know what? That's a real challenge for every young person right now. The young people today are facing incredible challenges, guys. Social media has changed our life, has changed our value system, has changed how we operate and think. Is one of many things that have changed us. So there's no easy answer to that. There's not. But I'm telling you, like, we got distracted when I talked about being a shepherd, but one of the most important things that we can teach this generation as they pursue greatness is gratitude. Gratitude is everything to me. And furthermore, if you want to become a great player, you're going to learn gratitude. It's going to speed your process to becoming great. And so we don't have a magic pill on that. We're going to work on that and preach that and teach that and exemplify that, just like all you great people in the state of Kentucky do every single day.
Hey, Mark, straight away in the back right here. Tyler Grieber from WDRB in Louisville. You talked about Coach Pitino, how much you've taken from him. Have you been able to speak to him at all since you were started to feel like you were going to take this job, and what did he tell you?
Well, I still have some PTSD. I get really nervous when I talk to Coach. But Coach has been such a gracious, incredible mentor, and I love him to death, and he is someone that on the right occasions at the right time, I will lean on him for some counsel because he just is. He just worked wonders in my life.
Hey, Coach, when you're on the bus and you pull into Rupp Arena and you see it's like a game day crowd in here in the middle of April, what's some of the thoughts that's going through your mind?
I don't know how to say that. I just don't know. I can say this. BBN rallies, man. BBN rallies in a big way. And, you know, super special to me. I'm not going to lie. So we dragged as many former players onto the bus as we could get. And just equally as special to me as all of us walking in here and enjoying this evening with you was walking onto the bus and getting to dap up all these guys that we've battled with and celebrated with, and the guys that built this place, these legendary cats, was super special to me.
Hey, Coach, this is Mario with Kentucky Sports Radio. I want to ask you, what are you most excited about for next season?
I'm most excited about winning. Let's go win. Let's go win. We got to go win. Let's go win.
Trace Terrell with Cast Coverage. What's your pitch to the players who've been here the last 14, 15 years to come back and still support this program?
Well, I don't think it's hard because we all got to experience this, right? I don't know how to say this, but part of what's different about Kentucky is there's a really fantastic, strong young man, older man somewhere up here in the stands, right? And his heart is in Kentucky. And my heart is in Kentucky exactly the same way. And these guys' heart is in Kentucky exactly the same way. And it makes us different. This is just different. I feel like I've been everywhere. And there's nowhere that shares this all together like we do here in Kentucky. So I didn't have to do anything. These guys care about. At previous institutions, I've just had open practices for everybody every day. That could really be problematic here, I think. But listen, this is not my team. This is our team. This is those guys' team and your team and everyone in the back's team. And so, we're all doing this together, and that's the basic principle we're working off of.
Maggie Davis, BBN Tonight. Coach, you talk about this being our team. You walked into your office today. Kentucky shared a video of that. Yeah, it's pretty nice, thanks.
Okay.
UK Athletics shared a video of you walking into your office today. Was that a moment that it started to really sink in? This is your office, this is your program?
Yeah, I think every single second has been a moment. It's just because my heart is here. Like, it just is awesome. And tonight at some point we're going to go home and jump on the phone and start recruiting, and like every recruiting call is going to be like an incredible moment because, you know, kids are answering a little bit different when I talk about Kentucky. Hey, listen. Hey, we got a long road, and it's going to be epic, and I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Let's go, Cats. Let's go, Cats.